Hello traders, Rishi Patel here, co-founder, Master the Markets, the Elite Traders Conference and the Traders Open Day. And welcome to this video on the 4 states of competence. So what are the 4 states of competence? How do they apply to trading? The 4 states of competence are unconsciously incompetent. This is where you don't know what you don't know. Then you move to the second phase, which is consciously incompetent. That's where you actually know that you don't know. Then you move to the third phase, which is called consciously competent. So in this phase, you know that you know and you're practicing consciously. And then the final phase is unconsciously competent. Now in this phase, you're no longer conscious that you're actually taking an action. It's like, for example, breathing. You're not actually conscious that you're breathing all the time, yet you're doing it. It's an unconsciously competent habit that's been formed over a period of time. Now, how can this apply in a real-world scenario, and then how does it apply in actually trading the markets? This is actually one of my favorite topics because this is all around trading psychology. And trading psychology is incredibly fascinating because it's all the study of the mind. And everything that we do from the perspective of Vedanta, some of you may know the company's name is Vedanta Trading Limited, that's our limited company name. From the perspective of Vedanta, Vedanta is the science of mind mastery. And it's an incredible study of the inner world and of the mind. And the way that that applies to trading is just amazing and it's incredible. And so all of these concepts, they apply so directly. So how would this apply, how would the 4 states of competence apply to something in everyday life? I'll give you an example of learning to drive. So let's say in the initial stages, you're a baby or you're growing up. So you're only a couple of years old and you don't know that you don't know how to drive. So at this stage, you're unconsciously competent. And you're in the stage where you don't know where you don't know. Because you're a baby, everything is great to you, you get a little toy car and you're happy with that. You don't know that you don't know how to drive it. Now, in the second phase, where you're consciously incompetent, let's say now you've grown up and now you're 8 or 9 years old and you're seeing dad, really cool guy, on the car, he's driving, he's going fast and he's running and he's overtaking different cars, and you find the whole thing to be fascinating, but you know that you can't do it. So you're actually consciously incompetent. You know that you can't drive. You know that you can't do it. So then you move to the third phase. The third phase is where you become a teenager. Now let's say you're 17 years old and apart from all the hormones flying around all over the place, you're legitimately illegal, in the UK at least, to get a driver's license, a provisional driver's license. So what a lot of people do is they get a driver's license and they start to take instruction from a driving instructor. This is someone that's professionally qualified to be able to guide them through how to actually navigate and use a vehicle safely. So you get into the car with a driver, and most of the time the driving instructor is controlling all the pedals, running the steering wheel and everything else. Now you're just in the seat of the driver and you're learning. You pass your license and now you're completely in that focused state of you're by yourself in the car. Once you've passed your license, you passed your test, your practical and your theory and everything else you've got to do, and you're consciously holding the steering wheel. So now you're in the 10-to-2 position. And you're in this position, you're using your mirror signal maneuver and everything else they're teaching you to do. You're indicating perfectly on time, you're waiting at the roundabout when you're meant to, and everything is tight, but you're consciously thinking about the whole process all of the time. So this is the third phase, where you're consciously competent. Now, in the final phase of driving, what happens is you become unconsciously competent. So at this time, you're driving, and at the same time, you might be managing your positions as you're driving. You may be on the phone. You may be talking to your fiance or your wife. Any of these things may be happening at this time, and you're not even thinking about the driving anymore. The mirror signal maneuver, it's all become second nature, and you can just effortlessly flow. And that's the space of unconscious competence. So that's applied in driving. So how do we now apply that in the market? Well, what we find is that most traders get stuck in the first phase and the second phase. So they get stuck in the space where they don't know what they don't know. So a lot of traders, for example, don't know how to construct a trading strategy using the 7-step process, which I've discussed in one of my prior videos. So go away and check it out. It's on our blog, and it will tell you how to actually do that. But then once you've learned the 7-step process, now you become consciously uncompetent. So now you in a space where you know that you don't know how to construct a strategy. But most traders get stuck in the first phase because they download something online or they start to watch that, and that never really makes them any real progress. And a lot of traders start to wonder why they can't make consistent money trading the market. Why is that? So they start to wonder why that is, and it's just because of that phase of being unconsciously incompetent. They don't know the tools that they need. They don't know that they don't know. They move to the next phase, which is having conscious incompetence, where now they know that they don't know. Then they move to the third phase, which is consciously competent. At this phase, this is where we transition traders over to as a professional mentoring business. MasterTheMarkets is a professional mentoring business. We transition traders into this phase. So we make them consciously competent. So what traders do in that phase is they have a set plan, they have a set routine, they follow the discipline, they place only the trades they're meant to, and they're following everything strictly. But it's a conscious effort to do it. And this is the third phase of being consciously competent. Now, in the final phase of trading the market, this is what Mark Douglas describes as trading in the zone. And that's what his book is about. If you haven't read it, it's a fantastic read. And this is one of the things he discusses, how you can be in the zone and trading in the zone. So when you're trading in the zone, at this time, you're actually unconsciously competent. You're in the zone, you're in the flow with the market. You can even predict price movements. Now, don't be fooled, because a lot of traders think or feel for some reason that they've got to this stage. It's very difficult to get to that stage immediately. You need plenty of screen time, you need lots of background, you need lots of research. And this is not something that can be shortcut actually by anyone. You've got to find that flow, you've got to find that mastery, that unconscious competence yourself. And that's the fourth level of trading. So I hope this added value. That's the 4 states of competence. I trust that added value. Leave me some comments and let me know how you found the video, and let's communicate on the blog. Until the next time, stay disciplined, trade your plan, and trade like a master. Bye for now.